Like everybody else, I've been following the tragedy of this Titan sub disaster as it attempted to descend to the Titanic in the makeshift sub Titan. Um, what they don't want you to know about this disaster is that it didn't have to happen, and it's been done. It's not even. We're not even talking about pushing boundaries to a certain extent. I mean, in terms of this has been done. These kind of depths have been reached since the 1950s. Just for example, 1954, the FNRS 3 Frenchman in that sub, Frenchman Georges Heraut and Pierre Willem, reached 13,000 feet, 13,287 square feet. Okay, that's a depth close to the Titanic, very close to it. Almost the same depth as the Titanic. That's 1954, and they did that in the FNRS 3. So the technology and the ability to reach those kind of depths is, that's 80 years ago, or 70 years, 74 years ago, 73 years ago. So 1960, just 6 years later, in the bathyscope Trist, Jacques Picard and Lieutenant Don Walsh reached 35,000 feet, 35,800 square feet. Now, if the Titanic is at something like 13,000 feet, we're talking, a good deal more than double, not quite triple, but good deal more than twice the depth of the Titanic. We're talking about the bottom of the Mariana Trench. I'd like to go down there myself because there's a ship I'd like to see down there. Or a ship I used to work on in Alaska is actually was sunk in the Mariana Trench. I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't see myself ever going down there, but I would love to see that ship again. It's not a well-known ship. Only one person died in that shipwreck. Um, and then in 1962, the Archimedes dives to 31,308 feet. Okay, in the Kuril Trench off Japan. That's 31,000 feet. That's again more than double the depth of the Titanic. So why is it that we have the Titan? This would seem to be routine depth since they've been doing this kind of thing since the 1950s. They ought to be able to pull it off, and of course they have. Other people have dove on that many times. But why didn't why would it go wrong so horribly this time? And of course, by now everybody is probably aware of the fact that the thing collapsed. It couldn't take the depth. It couldn't take the pressure. But why? And I think what people don't want you to know, certain people, let's say the media, what they don't want you to know is that why we've heard that there was a woke bias in this group against middle-aged white men, right? So we don't want old white men, like 50-year-old white men. We don't want to hire those kind of people. We want young surfers and things like this. Those are the kind of people they wanted to hire. Well, if you go back to the 19, why not hire some guys who worked on the FNRS 3 in 1954? They were successful. They pulled off, they had a successful journey down to 13,000 square feet. Why not hire, Jacques Picard or Lieutenant Don Walsh or people they worked with, engineers they worked with back in 1960? They may be old white men, but they had a successful trip down to more than twice the depth of the Titanic. Maybe they could have pointed out some of the problems, and there were apparently quite a lot of them. A lot of problems with this submarine. Why not hire, the crew of the Archimedes, who in 1962 went more than twice the depth of the Titanic? Why not hire some of those engineers? Why not hire, if the U.S. Navy has the best sub fleet in the world, why not hire some of those old white men who are former submariners? These are great people, the ones I've met. Why wouldn't you want to hire them? Are you kidding me? You're going down there. I mean, if you're going down there, you'd certainly want to have someone look it over, get some of these guys. And so, this is old news. This is old news. But when you're afraid of old wisdom and old ideas, then you're going to get new results. Instead of the success of the past, you're going to get new results and reinvent that wheel. But it's so tragic that it didn't have to happen. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Fight on.